This is CNN Breaking News.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Don Lemon. Right now, so much of the world is just in shock and disbelief, trying to process what has happened today and make some sense of this gigantic loss.
NBA star Kobe Bryant was on board that helicopter and is now dead at the age of 41.
LA Times is reporting that retired Los Angeles Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash.
What goes into making a legend? In the world of sports, few names are as synonymous with the game that they played as Kobe Bryant. Simply put, he was one of the greatest of all time, and his life and legacy will be celebrated for lifetimes to come. Join us now as we take a look at Kobe Bryant and the life of a legend. Kobe Bean Bryant was born on August 23rd of 1978, and he was an American professional basketball player who filled the position of a shooting guard. Bryant played his whole 20-season career in the NBA, the National Basketball Association, with the Los Angeles Lakers. Kobe got into the NBA right after high school, and his talent enabled his team to win 5 NBA championships. Kobe was also an 18-time All-Star, a 15-time member of the All-NBA team, a 12-time member of the All-Defensive team, and the NBA's 2008 MVP. Most Valuable Player. Many believe him to be one of the greatest basketball players to ever hit the court. Bryant led the NBA in scoring during 2 seasons and ranks 4th on the league's all-time regular season scoring. In addition to that, Bryant also ranks 4th on the all-time postseason scoring list. Kobe was the first guard in NBA history to play at least 20 seasons. According to a 2016 article in Forbes magazine, Bryant's net worth was estimated to be about $350 million. Kobe is listed at being 6 feet and 6 inches tall and weighed about 212 pounds. Kobe mainly played as a shooting guard. Bryant was respected by his on-court opponents as he was often cited as one of the most dangerous scorers in the NBA. Over the years, Kobe has often been compared to another one of the all-time greats, Michael Jordan, and he admitted that it was indeed Jordan whom he modeled his playing style after. Like Jordan, Kobe became most known for his lethal and on-target shooting a fall-away jump shot. Sports Illustrated's Chris Ballard described another of Bryant's most famous moves as the jab, step, and pause. Bryant jabbed his non-pivot foot forward to let the defender relax, but instead of bringing the jab foot back, he pushed off of it and drove around his opponent to get to the basket. Bryant built himself a reputation for taking shots in the closing moments of tight games. Even when he was being double or even triple teamed, he's been recognized as one of the premier closers in the NBA. In a 2012 annual survey of NBA general managers, Bryant was selected for the 10th consecutive time as the player that general managers would want to take a clutch shot with the game on the line. Who better to have the rock? Bryant liked being the villain and loved being booed so that he could then silence the crowd with his gameplay. Throughout his career, Bryant was sometimes called a selfish, high-volume shooter because he missed more field goal attempts in his career than any other player in NBA history. Coach Phil Jackson, who worked with Bryant for many years, said that Bryant tends to force the action, especially when the game isn't going his way. When his shot is off, Kobe will pound away relentlessly until his luck turns. According to Bryant himself, I would go 0 for 30 before I would go 0 for 9. 0 for 9 means you beat yourself. You psyched yourself out of the game. That's the mindset of a champion. In addition to his abilities on offense, Bryant also established himself as a noteworthy defensive player. Bryant rarely drew charges while playing defense, and believed that doing so spared his body and contributed to his longevity. Some of the harshest critics have said that Bryant's defensive accolades in his later years were based more on his reputation than his actual play, yet somehow I don't think any of them would have objected to having Bryant on their team. Love him or hate him. Bryant was also known for his staunch work ethic. During his first 16 seasons of playing, his body was super resilient, and Kobe exhibited a high pain threshold and would frequently play through injuries. Bryant was a fierce competitor who made both his opponents and teammates alike the objects of ridicule. A lot of players believe Kobe to be difficult to play with because of his high level of performance and commitment. Forbes magazine sports writer Mark Heisler once wrote that circa 2004 to 2007, Kobe was the most alienated superstar the NBA had ever seen. However, he did lead the Lakers to 2 championships after Shaquille O'Neal retired. It was during this time that Kobe became more of a mentor to his teammates than he had been earlier on in his career. Phil Jackson said that the biggest difference between his first and second stints in coaching the Lakers was that Bryant had talked to teammates. In Bryant's earlier years with the Lakers, it was usually, "Give me the damn ball." During the latter period, Kobe embraced the team and his teammates. Calling them up when we were on the road and inviting them out to dinner. It was as if the other players were now his partners and not his personal assistants. So how did Kobe come to be? Where did it all start? Let's head back to the very beginning. Kobe was born in the city of Philadelphia and was the youngest of 3 children. He was also the one and only son of former NBA player Joe Bryant and Pamela Cox Bryant. He was also the maternal nephew of basketball player John Chubby Cox. Kobe's folks named him after the famous beef of Kobe, Japan, that they saw on a restaurant menu. His middle name Bean was a riff on his dad's nickname, Jelly Bean. Bryant's family raised him to be Catholic, and Kobe always practiced his faith. When Bryant was 6 years old, his father retired from the NBA and moved his family to Rieti in Italy so that he could continue playing professional basketball, just at a lower level. Kobe sank into his new lifestyle easily, and he learned to speak fluent Italian. Kobe loved the time that he spent living in several different parts of Italy and considered the country to be a loving place where his favorite childhood memories were made. Like father, like son, Kobe began playing basketball when he was just 3 years old. Fittingly, the Lakers were his favorite basketball team while he was growing up. Kobe's grandpa would mail him videos of NBA games so that Bryant could study them. Bryant also enjoyed playing soccer when he was young, and his favorite team was AC Milan. While living in Reggio Emilia in Italy, Kobe started taking the idea of playing basketball professionally very seriously. During the summertime, Bryant would come back to the United States so that he could play in a basketball summer league. Bryant started earning national recognition for his growing skills during his high school career at Lower Merion High School in Ardmore, a small suburb of Lower Merion in Philadelphia. Bryant played on the varsity basketball team as a freshman and became the first freshman in decades to start for Lower Merion's varsity team. Even with Kobe, the team finished with the record of just 4 wins and 20 losses. That would quickly change because the following 3 years, the Aces nailed themselves a record of 27 wins and just 13 losses, with Bryant playing all 5 positions during his time there. In Kobe's junior year, he was averaging 31.1 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 5.2 assists per game, 31.1 points. This led him to being named Pennsylvania Player of the Year, while also earning a 4-team parade All-American nomination. As you would imagine, he started attracting a lot of attention from college recruiters in the process. Michigan, Duke, Villanova, and North Carolina were at the top of Kobe's wish list. Before he picked which college that he wanted to play for, another high school graduate, Kevin Garnett, went straight into the first round of the 1995 NBA draft. Bryant then began considering the move directly to the pros. Before the NBA draft in 1996, Bryant worked out in Los Angeles, where he scrimmaged against former Laker players Michael Cooper and Larry Drew. According to then Laker manager Jerry West, Kobe marched right over these people. That year, the Lakers were looking to trade their starting center, Vlade Divac, for a player's draft rights to free up salary cap space so that they could make an offer to a free agent center named Shaquille O'Neal. Bill Branch, the Hornets' head scout at the time, said that the Hornets agreed to trade their draft selection at number 13 to the Lakers the day before the draft. Before the trade agreement, the Hornets never considered drafting Bryant. During the draft, the Lakers told the Hornets whom to select minutes before the pick was made. Bryant was the first guard ever drafted directly out of high school. After the draft, the trade was put in jeopardy when Divac threatened to retire rather than be traded from Los Angeles. However, on June 30th, Divac relented on his threat and the trade was made final on July 9th of 1996, when the league's off-season moratorium ended. Since Bryant was still only 17 at the time, his parents had to co-sign his contract with the Lakers until he was able to sign on his own when he turned 18 before the season began. Bryant signed a 3-year rookie contract totaling $3.5 million, not too shabby for a kid from Philly who was fresh out of high school. Bryant made his professional debut at the Summer Pro League in Long Beach, California, where he scored 25 points in front of a standing room-only crowd. Defenders had a really hard time trying to get in front of him, and his performance excited both West and Lakers coach Del Harris. Kobe scored 36 points in the final and finished with averages of 24.5 points and 5.3 rebounds in 4 games. During his rookie year in 1996 to 1997, Bryant mostly came off the bench behind guards Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones. During this period, Kobe became the youngest player ever to play in an NBA game, as well as becoming the youngest NBA starter ever. At first, and as expected, Bryant played only a limited amount of minutes, but as the season went on, he started to get more playtime. By the season's end, Kobe was averaging about 15.5 minutes a game. During the All-Star weekend, Bryant took part in the Rookie Challenge and won the 1997 Slam Dunk Contest. That set another record for Kobe, as he became the youngest dunk champion ever at the age of 18. Bryant's performance throughout the year earned him a spot on the NBA All-Rookie Second Team alongside fellow bench teammate Travis Knight. The Lakers advanced to the Western Conference semifinals in the playoffs against the Utah Jazz, when Bryant was pressed into a lead role at the end of Game 5. Byron Scott missed the game with a sprained wrist. Robert Horry was ejected for fighting with Utah's Jeff Hornacek, and Shaquille O'Neal fouled out with 1 minute and 46 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Bryant shot 4 air balls at the end of the game, and the Jazz won 98-93 during overtime to eliminate the Lakers 4-1. Even though he missed his final few shots, O'Neal commented that Bryant was the only guy who had the guts at the time to take shots like that. During Bryant's second professional season, he got more playing time and started to show off more of his skills as a talented young guard. Because of this, Kobe's point averages grew. In fact, they more than doubled from 7.6 to 15.4 points per game. Kobe would see an increase in minutes when the Lakers played small, which would feature Bryant playing small forward alongside the guards he would usually back up. Bryant ended up being the runner-up for the NBA's Sixth Man of the Year award, and through fan voting, he also became the youngest NBA All-Star starter in NBA history, another record with several more to come. Bryant was joined by then teammates O'Neal, Van Exel, and Jones, making it the first time since 1983 that 4 players on the same team were selected to play in the same All-Star game. Bryant's 15.4 points per game was the highest of any non-starter in the season. During the 1998 to 1999 season, Bryant emerged as a premier guard in the league. Starting guards Jones and Van Exel were traded, and Kobe started every game for the lockout-shortened 50-game season. During the season, Kobe signed a 6-year contract extension worth $70 million. This would ensure that he would be part of the Lakers until the end of the 2003 to 2004 season. Despite this early stage of his career, sports writers were already comparing Kobe's skills to those of Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. Unfortunately, the playoff results were no better, as the Lakers were swept by the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference semifinals. But history was again about to be made for the Lakers. Enter head coach Phil Jackson. When he took over as coach of the Lakers in 1999, Bryant's fortune began to change. It wasn't long before Bryant became one of the premier shooting guards in the league, earning appearances in the league's All-NBA, All-Star, and All-Defensive teams. Under Bryant and O'Neal, who formed a legendary center-guard combination, the Lakers became championship contenders. Jackson implemented his triangle offense that he used to win 6 championships with the Chicago Bulls. It's this offense that helped both O'Neal and Bryant to rise to the elite class of the NBA. Three championships were won consecutively in 2000, 2001, and 2002, a magical three-peat. It looked like the Lakers were poised to make it 4 in a row when the Lakers acquired NBA All-Stars Karl Malone and Gary Payton to help them go for another push toward an NBA championship. However, controversy struck, and Bryant was arrested for sexual assault before the season even began. As a result of these allegations, Bryant had to miss several games before court appearances, or attend court earlier in the day and then travel to play games later in the same day. During the summer of 2003, the Sheriff's Office of Eagle, Colorado, arrested Bryant in connection with an investigation of sexual assault complaint that was filed by a 19-year-old hotel employee. Bryant had checked into the lodge and spa at Corderilla in Eagle County before undergoing knee surgery nearby. The accuser said that Bryant raped her in his hotel room the night before he was to have his medical procedure. Bryant admitted to having an adulterous sexual encounter with his accuser, but denied her sexual assault allegation. This accusation tarnished Bryant's reputation. The public's perception of him dropped drastically. As a result, his endorsement contracts with Nutella and McDonald's were terminated, and sales for Bryant's replica jersey dropped dramatically. In September 2004, the assault case was dropped by prosecutors after the accuser decided not to testify at the trial. Bryant then agreed to publicly apologize to her for the incident. Saying, "Although I truly believe this encounter between us was consensual, I recognize now that she did not and does not view this incident the same way I did. After several months of reviewing discovery, listening to her attorney, and her testimony in person, I now understand how she feels, that she did not consent to this encounter." The accuser filed a separate civil lawsuit against Bryant later, and the two sides settled privately. It was time to get back to business for Bryant. Even though the Lakers lineup was as solid as they came with O'Neal, Bryant, Malone, and Payton, the damage had been done and taken its toll on all parties concerned, especially for the victim. The Lakers were able to reach the NBA Finals, but they were upset in 5 games by the Detroit Pistons, who ended up winning their first championship since the year 1990. Jackson's contract as coach was not renewed, and Rudy Tomjanovich took over. O'Neal was traded to the Miami Heat for Lamar Odom, Caron Butler, and Bryant Grant. The following day, Bryant declined an offer to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers and re-signed with the Lakers, a 7-year contract. By the time that the 2004-2005 season began, Bryant's reputation, badly damaged from all that had happened over the previous year, things got even worse when Jackson wrote his book, The Last Season, A Team in Search of Its Soul. Jackson's book detailed the events of the Lakers' turmoil-filled 2003-2004 season, and he doled out several criticisms of Bryant. Jackson had gone so far as to call Bryant uncoachable. Midway through the season, Tomjanovich suddenly resigned as Lakers coach because of health problems and exhaustion. Assistant coach Frank Hamblin then took over. That year, the Lakers amassed a record of 34 wins and 48 losses, and missed the playoffs for the first time in over a decade. By the time the 2005-2006 season began, Bryant found himself at a crossroads in his basketball career. Despite past problems with Bryant, Jackson returned once again to coach the Lakers. Bryant fully supported this move, and the two men seemed to be working well together, leading the Lakers back into the playoffs. Bryant's individual scoring accomplishments he posted resulted in the finest statistical season of his career. On December 20th, 2005, Bryant scored 62 points in 3 quarters against the Dallas Mavericks. Entering the fourth quarter, Bryant outscored the entire Mavericks team 62-61. This was the only time in history that a player has done this through 3 quarters since the introduction of the shot clock. When the Lakers faced the Miami Heat in January 16, 2006, Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal made headlines by engaging in handshakes and hugs before the game, signifying a change in the feud that had been cooking between them. A month later, at the 2006 NBA All-Star Game, the two were seen laughing together. It was on January 22nd of 2006 that Bryant scored a monumental career highlight during a 122-104 win over the Raptors. Bryant scored a whopping 81 points during that game, in addition to breaking the previous franchise record of 71 set by Elgin Baylor. Bryant's 81-point game was the second highest point total in NBA history, surpassed only by Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game in the year 1962. During Chamberlain's incredible feat, he was fed repeatedly by teammates for inside shots in a blowout win. Bryant, on the other hand, created his own shots that he took, mostly from the outside, in a game that found the Lakers trailing at halftime by 14 points. The Lakers didn't pull away until the fourth quarter. Chamberlain, playing in an era when the games were paced faster and scoring opportunities were more plentiful, accounted for 59% of his team's points in Philadelphia's 169-147-point win, in comparison to Bryant scoring 66% of the Lakers' 122 points. During that same month, Bryant also became the first player since 1964 to score 45 points or more in 4 consecutive games, joining Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor as the only players ever to do so. By the end of the 2005-2006 season, Bryant set Lakers single-season franchise records for most 40-point games and most points scored, totaling 2,832. Later in the season, it was reported that Bryant would change his jersey number from 8 to 24 at the start of the 2006-2007 season. Bryant's first high school number was 24 before he switched to 33. After the Lakers season ended, Bryant said on TNT that he wanted 24 as a rookie, but it was unavailable, as was 33, retired with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Despite Bryant and his teammates' best efforts that season, the Lakers broke down and ultimately fell to the Phoenix Suns in 7 games. Another championship opportunity had fallen by the wayside. The bad luck wouldn't last forever. During the playoffs of the 2008-2009 season, the Lakers defeated the Utah Jazz in 5 games and the Houston Rockets in 7 games in the opening 2 rounds. By finishing off the Denver Nuggets in the conference finals in 6 games, the Lakers earned their second straight trip to the NBA Finals, where the Lakers defeated the Orlando Magic in 5 games. Bryant was awarded his first NBA Finals MVP trophy upon winning his fourth championship, achieving series averages of 32.4 points, 7.4 assists, 5.6 rebounds, and 1.4 steals and blocks per game. Kobe became the next since Jordan to average 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists for a title-winning team in the finals. During the 2009-2010 season, a fifth championship title was on the horizon. The Lakers began the playoffs as the number 1 seed in the Western Conference against the Oklahoma City Thunder, eventually defeating them in 6 games. The Lakers swept the Utah Jazz in the second round and advanced to the Western Conference Finals, where they faced the Phoenix Suns. In Game 2, Bryant finished the game with 13 assists, setting a new playoff career high. It was the most assists by a Laker in the playoffs since Magic Johnson had 13 in 1996. The Lakers went on to win the series in 6 games, capturing the Western Conference Championship and advancing to the NBA Finals for a 3rd straight season. In a rematch against the 2008 champion Boston Celtics, Bryant, despite shooting 6 for 24 from the field, led the Lakers back from a 13-point third-quarter deficit in Game 7 to win the championship. He scored 10 of his game-high 23 points in the fourth quarter and finished the game with 15 rebounds. Bryant won his 5th championship and earned his 2nd consecutive NBA Finals MVP award. This marked the first time the Lakers won a Game 7 against the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. Bryant said that this was the most satisfying of all of his 5 championships. Bryant wanted a 6th championship to match Michael Jordan's total, but that was not to be. Bryant would retire with 5 championship rings in the year 2016. He may not have captured any more championship gold since the 2009 to 2010 season, but that did not keep Kobe from creating an extensive list of broken records. On November 29, 2015, Bryant announced via the Players Tribune that he would be retiring at the end of the season. In his poem titled Dear Basketball, Bryant wrote that he fell in love with the game at age 6, a love so deep, I gave you my all, from my mind and my body to my spirit and soul. The 2015 to 2016 season is all I have left to give. My heart can take the pounding, my mind can handle the grind, but my body knows it's time to say goodbye. And that's okay. I'm ready to let you go. In a letter distributed to Laker fans before that evening's game against the Indiana Pacers, Bryant wrote, "What you've done for me is far greater than anything I've done for you. My love for this city, this team, and for each of you will never fade. Thank you for this incredible journey." At the time of his announcement, he was second on the team in minutes, 30.8, behind Jordan Clarkson and leading the team with 16.7 field goal attempts per game, while averaging just 15.7 points and shooting a career low 31.5%. His free throw attempts had dropped from his career average, and his game had become over-reliant on pump fakes and long-range shots, making a league-worst 19.5% from three-point range, while attempting 7 a game, almost double in his career average. In his press conference after the announcement, he acknowledged his declining skills. "Even though I play like shit, I've worked really hard not to play like crap, and I do everything I possibly can. And I feel good about that," he said. Bryant in his final Cleveland game, defending LeBron James, Bryant requested that opposing teams on the road not hold any court ceremonies in his honor or present him any gifts in public. Prior to announcing his retirement, he had been steadfast about not wanting the fuss of a staged farewell tour, preferring to hear boos instead of cheers. Still, he was honored around the league with video tributes and fan ovations, including arenas that historically jeered him, such as Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City, TD Garden in Boston, and Sleep Train Arena in Sacramento. Previously, Bryant was respected but not beloved, and he was astonished at the cheers he was now receiving. On February 3rd, Bryant made 7 three-pointers and scored a then-season-high 38 points, including 14 of the team's 18 points in the last 5 minutes and 2 seconds of the game, for a 119-115 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. The win ended a 10-game losing streak, and the Lakers averted establishing the longest losing streak in franchise history. Bryant became just the 4th NBA player over 37 years old to log at least 35 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in a game. Bryant was the leading overall vote-getter for the 2016 All-Star Game with 1.9 million votes, ahead of Stephen Curry's 1.6 million. Having moved to small forward that season, Bryant was selected as a front-court starter for the first time, playing in his first All-Star game since 2013. Bryant had 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. West teammates offered to feed him the ball in an attempt to get him another All-Star MVP, but he declined. In the season final on April 13th, Bryant scored an NBA season-high 60 points against Utah in his last NBA game, outscoring the entire Jazz team 23-21 in the fourth quarter in the Lakers' 101-96 victory. The Lakers finished the season with a 17-65 record, their worst record in franchise history. Bryant was called one of the greatest players in the history of our game by NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, and the New York Times wrote that he had one of the most decorated careers in the history of the sport. Reuters called him, arguably, the best player of his generation, while both Sporting News and TNT named him their NBA Player of the Decade for the 2000s. In 2008 and again in 2016, ESPN ranked him the second greatest shooting guard of all time after Jordan. Players including Kevin Durant, Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose called Bryant their generation's version of Jordan. The Press Enterprise described Bryant as maybe the greatest Laker in the organization's history. He was the Lakers' all-time leading scorer, and his 5 titles are tied for the most in franchise history. Both numbers he wore during his career, 8 and 24, were retired by the Lakers on December 18, 2017. With career averages of 25 points, 5.2 rebounds, 4.7 assists, and 1.4 steals per game, he was considered one of the most complete players in NBA history. He was the first player in NBA history to have at least 30,000 career points and 6,000 career assists, and he was one of only 4 players with 25,000 points, 6,000 rebounds, and 6,000 assists. Bryant led the NBA in scoring during the 2005-2006 and 2006-2007 seasons. His 81-point performance against Toronto in 2006 was the second highest in NBA history, behind only Chamberlain's 100. He scored at least 50 points 24 times in his career, which is third in league history behind Jordan with 31 and Chamberlain 118. Six times Bryant scored at least 60. He was just the third player in NBA history to average 40 points in a calendar month, which he accomplished 4 times. Bryant was voted the league MVP in 2008 and led his team to the 2008 NBA Finals as the first seed in the Western Conference. In the 2008 Summer Olympics, he won a gold medal as a member of the U.S. men's basketball team, occasionally referred to as the Redeem Team. He won another gold medal at the 2012 Summer Olympics. He led the Lakers to 2 more championships in 2009 and 2010, winning the Finals MVP award on both occasions. Bryant was an 18-time All-Star, which ranks second behind only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's 19. He was chosen a record 18 straight times, each time as a starter. Four times Bryant was named the All-Star MVP, a record he shares with Bob Pettit. He was selected to the All-NBA team on 15 occasions, tied for the most with Abdul-Jabbar and Tim Duncan, and his 11 first-team honors are tied for the second most ever with Karl Malone. Bryant was also a 12-time All-Defensive Team selection, trailing only Duncan's 15. And 9 times he was named to the All-Defensive First Team, tied with Jordan, Garnett, and Gary Payton for the most of all time. He was the first guard to play 20 seasons in the NBA. He also won the NBA Slam Dunk Contest in 1997 and was its youngest winner. In his career, Bryant scored 40-plus points in 121 games, and 21 times he recorded a triple-double. Bryant was the official ambassador for After School All-Stars, ASAS, an American nonprofit organization that provides comprehensive after-school programs to children in 13 U.S. cities. Bryant also started the Kobe Bryant China Fund, which partnered with the Sun Ching Ling Foundation, a charity backed by the Chinese government. The Kobe Bryant China Fund raises money with China earmarked for education and health programs. On November 4, 2010, Bryant appeared alongside Zach Braff at the Call of Duty Black Ops launch event at the Santa Monica Airport. Where they presented a $1 million check to the Call of Duty Endowment, an Activision-founded nonprofit organization that helps veterans transition to civilian careers after their military service has ended. Together with his wife, Bryant founded the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Family Foundation, KVBFF. Its goals are helping young people in need, encouraging the development of physical and social skills through sports, and assisting the homeless. Bryant spoke of the injustice aimed at homeless people who are blamed for their situation, saying that homelessness should not be ignored or made a low priority. Bryant said he wanted more out of life than just a successful basketball career. At 9:06 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 26, 2020, a Sikorsky S-76 helicopter departed from John Wayne Airport in Orange County, California, with 9 people aboard. Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, 6 family friends, and the pilot. The helicopter was registered to the Fillmore-based Island Express Holding Corp. According to the California Secretary of State Business Database, the group was traveling to a practice session at Bryant's Mamba Academy in Thousand Oaks. Due to light rain and foggy weather that morning, the LAPD helicopters and most other air traffic were grounded. The flight tracker shows that the helicopter circled above the LA Zoo due to heavy air traffic in the area. The helicopter circled the area 6 times at an altitude of around 850 feet. At 9:30 a.m., the pilot, Ara Zobayan, contacted the Burbank Airport's control tower, notifying the tower of the situation, and was told he was flying too low to be tracked by radar. At that time, the helicopter experienced extreme fog, turned south towards the mountains. At 9:40 a.m., the helicopter climbed rapidly from 1,200 to 2,000 feet, flying at 185 miles per hour. At 9:45 a.m., the helicopter crashed into the side of a mountain in Calabasas, about 30 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles, and caught on fire. Bryant, his daughter, and the other 7 occupants were killed. This also started a quarter-acre bushfire At 9:47 a.m., authorities were called. Personnel from the Los Angeles County Fire Department attended the scene, and paramedics rappelled from a helicopter to the scene to look for survivors. The fire was difficult to extinguish due to the presence of magnesium, but the fire had been extinguished by 10:30 a.m. The losses suffered that day, especially for Kobe's immediate family and friends, will no doubt take its toll for many years to come. What will never be forgotten, however, is Kobe Bryant. He was human. He made his mistakes, and he has reached the highest highs and the lowest lows. That's a testament to who he was. It wasn't about like or dislike for Kobe. It was about respect. Looking back at his professional career, it's impossible not to give him just that: respect.